a new world peace mission that's got the backing of actors, writers and pop stars, including this one.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
I'm going to be talking to Annie Lennox, Divissima, and that's a new word, freshly minted this morning, plus the founder of Peace One Day, about the charity's hopes. Jeremy Gilley is a former actor who began to ask himself whether his life was worthwhile. He gave up the stage and he took up a cause. World peace, no less. One man, travelling all over the world on a shoestring, so poor that his phone is nearly cut off, manages to persuade the likes of the Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Kofi Annan and Shimon Peres to endorse his campaign, Peace One Day. Eventually, the United Nations voted to make September the 21st the annual Peace Day. The campaign he's founded has heavy-duty celebrity support and it's holding a concert at the Albert Hall. Well, I'm joined now by Jeremy Gilley and one of his most celebrated headliners, the singer and activist Annie Lennox. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Jeremy, let's just start with your story. You were an actor doing pretty well. I mean, you've been in the RSC and so on. Was there a sort of blinding moment when you thought, actually, this life is not for me, I'm not putting back enough? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I just became very concerned about the state of our world, the destruction, the killing of innocent people. I was very frightened about what I was seeing and I wanted to try and make a difference. And as a filmmaker, they were the only skills that I had, so I thought, well, could I use the form of film constructively as well as creatively to try and do something? And I was thinking about peace. I realised there was no starting point for peace. And that's when I came up with the idea. Could I make a documentary about trying to create the first ever day of peace on this planet, voted by every member state of the United Nations? And I travelled on that journey, met many different people. And fortunately, I'm very pleased to say that the 21st of September is the World's Peace Day now.
And it's quite hard for people to get their heads around whether this means anything, because peace in the playground, peace in the street, it could sound a bit nebulous, but you want it to be a little bit like there's Christmas Day, there's Easter Day, and there's Peace Day. I mean, you want it to become a day that everybody recognises as a special day.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, you know, if we're to move from a culture of war to a culture of peace, then I believe the global community should unite. We should come together as one, above politics, above religion, not more important than either of those things, but we should come together in a moment of intercultural cooperation, a moment of global unity, if we're to move from a culture of war to a culture of peace. And a world uniting might be a good starting point for that.
And is there, I mean, it's a big idealistic vision. Are there practical things that are happening?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it as an idealistic vision. I see it as a vision. I see it as something that the world needs to create and indeed has done so. But many practical things go on in that day. In Afghanistan, for example, there'll be immunisations, there'll be people coming together, there'll be very practical activity, as well as in the Congo. We've just been to both of those places. So whether it's in areas of conflict, whether it's in our homes, whether it's in our communities, or whether it's in our schools, if we can see people acting towards a more peaceful world that has a benefit, then I believe that's surely a great thing.
Annie Lennox, how did you come across this idea?
Well, I was invited a couple of years ago to actually participate in one of Jeremy's initiatives there at the Brixton Academy in London. And when I met him and I saw what he wanted to do, his vision, and you can see a sort of incredible sort of energetic commitment to this ideal, I thought, if anybody's going to make this happen, it's him. And what I love about Jeremy is that he's an ordinary person. He was not a celebrity. He is not a celebrity. Perhaps he will become one. But I love the idea that ordinary citizens can connect with this and can feel that they actually can do something. I feel people have the ideal that they would love to change the world, but they don't know how, and they don't quite know how to get on board and how to make it something applicable. We are somewhat disillusioned by politicians and the lies and the spin that we've received. And the ideal of peace is not something that is only airy-fairy, it's essential. Because if we want to have a future, we must endorse the notion of peace.
And yet, you know that when somebody like yourself, or Bob Geldof, or Bono, apply themselves to big causes, there's quite a large proportion of people watching say, oh, there we go again, pop stars, self-indulgent, just trying to kind of,
yes,
you know, heart on sleeve.
Yes, absolutely. Of course, that's inevitable. But I believe if I walk away from this, then nothing will happen. I think I'm contributing, and it's something that I feel so passionately about that there's no question in my mind that this is something that I need to endorse, I want to endorse, and I'm glad of the opportunity to take part.
Yeah.